Okay. We're going to get this going. Welcome to Inside the Mind's Eye. There's a little different experience happening right now. I'm running video along with audio to record this episode of the show. Welcome to the show. This is the ambient music that we when I say we, I mean me and the voice in my head and you. Gets me in the mood. I got my cup of coffee. I got my what is this? Yeah, that's an open closet full of clothes. I'm just a dishevelry in my room space right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pause that track. We're in. Welcome to the show. This is Inside the Mind's Eye, where we take a introspective look at the thoughts, ideas, and emotions of those who are pursuing a dream, or living a dream, or wanting to make sense of their dreams. All of the above. This is a space where we explore the innermost reaches of our outermost selves, so to say. And this is a new kind of format that I'm running, where I'm recording it with video as well as audio to be able to have. I want to get my YouTube channel going again. I want to get that shaped up. I want these things to be out on video as well as audio as I continue this journey that we call life. So, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's quarantined all right, taking care of themselves, socially distancing. You know, I've been at that for a minute. I'm literally, when this is over, I'm joining the social distance Olympics, and I think I can go the distance because I've been, you know, this has been like a vacay for me. I mean, I'm normally like I in my past have been socially anxious around large groups of people. So the fact that everybody, I don't know, I don't feel bad about not going around people. That's like, now that we're all in it, it makes me feel like, oh, you know, a little bit better. But that's the current state of our affairs right now on this day. Let's check in with the day right now. It's April 12th. It's Sunday. It's Easter for our Jesus friends. And it had just been Passover for our Moses friends. And I hope everyone's having a most festive, or had a most festive weekend and experience with the fam and whatever celebration you did. Ooh, yeah. This is we got a special thing on the docket today. I wrote something this week, so I'm gonna read the essay that got written. And maybe I'll talk about it while I'm reading it. I took a new approach this time, in the sense that I read it out loud to myself while I was editing it. And I haven't really done that before. I've always just kind of wrote it and ripped it and let it out. And this one came to me a little differently. The theme of my life up until now has kind of been, when I'm writing these things or making these podcasts or these essays, and like a sentence will pop into my head, and it'll be a sentence that kind of scares me. It'll be a sentence that I'm like, if I were to say this out loud, I would be afraid of what people would think, and I don't know why. And so, you know, I would just get a sentence in my head, and it would make me feel like, whoa, what is this? You know, I want to explore this. I want to make sense of what it is I have to say about this. And so I would start writing, and my curiosity would be the guiding force of the pen or the paper or whatever. I'd be like, okay, how can I make this sentence make sense for me? Because off the rip, it feels abstract and it feels jarring. Example of a sentence would be like, I don't fuck with heroin addicts. That was a sentence that popped in my head, and it made me feel that, ooh, like, I got to figure out why I don't fuck with heroin addicts. Another sentence would be, you know, I don't know what another sentence would be. I can't think of another one right now. But that's the example. I guess I could pull up the website and find a sentence real quick of one that I've written. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So that's how it normally works. This one came a little differently. This one, I was at work. I was taking a break, and I got a feeling, and the feeling was like, start writing, and I started writing. I had no sentence, no nothing. It was just a feeling, and I was just like, okay. Pulled up my notepad and I started writing. I don't know what I have to say, And I got a few sentences in, and was like, I have to go back to work. So I went back in and started building pallets. I work at a warehouse where we construct carpentry style stuff. I got a nail gun and I got a screwdriver, and I build these wooden pallets, the stuff that you would place big things on. Those are what I build, and I'm building, and then the sentences started coming, and it was like I would go for 30 seconds, then a sentence would pop in my head. I'd be like, okay, got to write it down, and then another one, and I'd go back to working, and then another 20 seconds would go by, and another sentence would pop in my head. So it was just like, for about 30 minutes, I just kept getting these thoughts, and I kept having to go to my phone and write them down. And, the whole time it was happening, I was thinking, man, this is dumb. What am I writing about? What am I saying? You get that voice in your head, that resistance that's saying basically like nothing, you're not profound. Nothing you're saying is any importance or any value. And why are you even wasting time doing this? Is kind of the voice that creeps up in your mind, and it's like, and I caught myself like erasing stuff while it was coming. I was like, I can't, that's not, because I didn't know where this thing was going. I didn't know where the essay was going. I didn't know where what the point of any of it was. I just knew it was happening. And so I just kind of funneled it. I've been on some wizard shit. I've been learning a lot about, like I'm not casting spells or anything like that, but like I've been getting to know myself in a way that I haven't in a long time. And I'm getting to know how I relate to the world around me in a way that I hadn't in a long time. So, talking about this stuff to me, it's kind of odd because I don't necessarily believe I'm the one that's doing it. And we'll get to that in the essay, but because I think I write about it there a little bit. But yeah, that's the show today. I'm going to go through the essay. We get some music going, and then it'll end with something else. The ending part is a video that I made about 2 years ago, a year and a half. I made it during, for lack of a better word, probably like the influx of my depressive state that I was in. People refer to it. You could refer to it as the dark night of the soul. You could refer to it as, just being a sad boy. Whatever you want to call it. I was in a space and it lasted a long time. And one night I was feeling alone. I was feeling lonely. I felt confused. I was sad. I felt I couldn't relate to anyone or anything. And I don't know what I was doing, but I was on the computer watching music videos or just, I don't know what I was doing, but I felt the need to create something. And the video at the end is something I created. I'd been listening to Alan Watts lectures and trying to learn about stuff, I guess. I still do, but I don't know. The best way to describe it, because I just watched this before I started this thing, the best way to describe the video is I was trying to make something to make sense of how I felt. And also to, in a sense, to try to give myself hope in that moment. And while I was editing the video and putting together and chopping up the bits and throwing everything into this thing that we're going to see, it gave me a respite from myself. It gave me something to do. And it's another one of those things, just like this essay, where like I can't necessarily say that it just kind of like happened to me. And I just watched this thing before I started this. So I just watched the video that I'm going to put at the end of this. And I was really glad I made it. because it felt true for me where I was at. Yeah, this is Inside the Mind's Eye. We get deep on some shit. It gets, we explore the emotions. There's highs, lows, whatever this is. This is almost like the comeuppance of a new thing that we're experiencing here, that we're styling out through this format of podcast and video. But man, I think I'm gonna cut it for now. I'm gonna come back in and we're gonna do the essay. I'm gonna find some music. We'll have some music in the background as well, and we'll run through it. But yeah, thanks for joining so far, and on to portion 2 of this new format. So yeah, be right back. Well, I guess the first thing I should say before starting this is, what the fuck do I know about anything? I don't know much. I have experiences, opinions, and judgments. I'm selfish, insecure, and half a bit loopy most of all the time. Sometimes I feel awake, other times I sleep. I like sleep. I don't think so much. When I'm awake, I feel everything. Sometimes I can sense the gray matter in my brain push up against the walls of my skull. I can feel it pulsing, almost as if it's trying to break free from itself. What I'm saying is, sometimes I can feel my brain inside my head. It happens while I'm driving or late at night when I'm trying to fall asleep. Yeah, sometimes I can feel my brain. Meditation. I can be aware that I'm thinking. I can feel all the feels, and I can separate myself from it all. Observe everything as it happens to the character of Adam. I do it with my eyes open. It's easier to recognize everything as one happening when I see, hear, and feel the world around me. It's easier for me to experience the thoughts as the same drip of water that drops from the faucet, or the bird that chirps, or the tree that sways. None of it is me. It's all just happenings. I don't take things personally, but everything feels personal. It's a hard road to balance, and I find it works best in movement. Like riding a bicycle. If you stop, you'll stay still and fall over. Sometimes I pedal really fast so I can let go of the spoke and just coast. Push a little bit as hills rise and fall. I can't trust my memories, or for that matter, my dreams, because they're all about me. And there's no way to know if any of it is actually true. I could be an android with implants, or in the Matrix, or some sort of a coma. My parents could have lied about when I was born. In fact, who's to say that they're really my parents? I didn't choose them, and honestly, can they be trusted? They thought it was a good idea to let me take jazz dance in the 7th grade. I honestly believe the best things I've ever done weren't because of me. All I've ever done was make a decision to open my mouth, or move the pen, or show up to practice. My dad will debate me all day on this. He disagrees. I say when the ball snaps, intuition and athleticism take over. There's no control, just flow. He says it's all control. We make choices in real time to adjust to our circumstances. I think we're both right. Sometimes I think we forget how flipping crazy it is to exist. On a planet in an infinitely expanding universe, you're alive right now, and it's the only time it will ever happen. And no one knows how we got here or where we're going. And that's why I believe in magic. Because there's no other word to explain the inexplicable. I don't cast spells anymore, though. I sit and listen and read books about mystic power, and I really hope I don't go crazy again. Really hope, you guys. Really hope. I've been psychotic and addicted. and none of it is good. And that's not to say I wish it hadn't happened because it was the best. Sometimes I think we forget how awesome heroin feels. And sometimes I think we don't know how incredible it is to be psychotic. Like a hand of God on your shoulder guiding your way, all aware, all powerful, and totally insane. It feels so good that when you come out of it, you're sad it's gone. A lot like heroin too. Or for that matter, falling in love. States of psychosis, heroin, and falling in love. The worst, best feelings in the world, because once they happen, you're fucked, and things won't ever be the same. That's not to say it's all bad either. It just means things will be different because you have to change, and ain't nobody got time for that. It's easier to stay safe than test the waters, because if you jump in, you'll have to learn to swim with sharks. People die all of the time. Just the other day, we lost a friend to a drug overdose. Last summer, one of my best friends committed suicide by hanging herself. I don't say this to feel sorry for me or for them, just to say that if you're swimming, there's gonna be sharks. Sometimes I wish someone taught me to swim before I dove in, though I don't think it really would have made a difference. Because I really like doing hood rat stuff with my friends. Always have, always will. And part of what's wrong with me, I think, is my inability to conform with anyone or anything. I think that's why it hurt so bad the last time I fell in love. I saw a future with someone that wasn't me, and there wasn't anything I could do to make it happen. No control, no knowing, and I had to conform to the idea. Falling in love. It wasn't about me, it happened to me. And then I made it all about me. And we can cue the Definitely Not Sad tour right here. Ever since I got off dope, I've been totally resistant to depending on anyone or anything that makes me happy. I hate needing stuff to feel okay. I spent too long on that merry-go-round, and when I got off, I wanted to stay off. But there's no controlling life or happiness. It happens whether I like it or not. I know what it feels like to experience the divine, but I don't know how to trust it. I'm learning now, like right now, in this moment, April 12th, 2020, Easter. Every day, like a full-time job to get out of my own way. Because things want to happen on their own, like my breath or the blood flowing through your veins, the air, the wind, and the current. I find I do my best living when I'm not thinking, when I'm flowing, trusting, and letting things go their own way. It's not to say I don't have an idea of where I want to go with everything, because for the first time in a long time I do. Nowhere.
I found you at the window again, looking out, watching the leaves falling in. Then you were something like a dream. Oh, so perfect, couldn't talk to me. The time moves slow when you're all alone, and the time moves slow when you're out on your own, and the time moves slow when you're missing a friend, and the time moves slow when you get to the end. Running away is easy, it's the leaving that's hard. Running away is easy, running away is easy, it's the living that's hard. And loving you was easy, it was you leaving that's scarred. But what was I to do? Just couldn't help myself falling in love with you. And what could I say? Oh, if I had another chance to make you stay. 'Cause when you ran away, I knew just what you were thinking that day. You just didn't love me like I do, like I love you. The sad thing is we're better off this way. Time moves slow, you can't hear a thing. Time moves slow when you're lost in the dream. And the time moves slow when you wait by the phone. And the time moves slow when you're all alone. To run away is easy, it's the leaving that's hard. Running away is easy, running away is easy, it's the living that's hard. And loving you was easy, it was you leaving that's scarred. 'Cause when you're so alone, time moves slow. When you're so alone, time moves slow. When you're so alone, time moves slow. Time moves slow.
All right. I had to let that song play out. It came on randomly after the shuffle I'd pressed for the essay portion. But it was like so fitting. I was like, what is this? And I was like, ooh. I couldn't have picked a better song. So I decided to let it play. That was Time Moves Slow by the band BADBADNOTGOOD. Never, first time hearing them. Definitely going to be listening. Yeah, so that was an essay. I don't know. I picked a title for it. That's probably going to be the title of this whole episode, actually. What's the title? What's it all about? What's it all about? So what's it all about, I don't know what it's all about. I'm figuring it out as we go. I'm excited and grateful to be able to share the journey, and hopeful that it could help whoever finds this, wherever they may be, contemplating these questions. Who am I? Why am I? What are these feelings? What are these feelings? What are they? Why are they happening? Hopefully some of this stuff can help you work through it, the way, in some way. So, yeah, that was kind of cool reading it. It was kind of cool. It caused me to slow down. I'm used to going real fast, real quick, with all the raps, with how I talk, with how I share, with how I communicate. But the reading, I think, was very helpful, a helpful exercise for me. And it felt all right. I mean, I feel all right doing this. I feel like I'm in a safe space. So shout out to a friend who was advising me before I started. Like, it's all good. Like, you can share this stuff, and you're good. You got people around you that are there, and that's all new for me, is talking about doing stuff like this before I do it. Up until now, I've always just kind of been like shouldering the weight of my own, for lack of a better word, like artistic expression, and it has kind of, it's been a lonely road, but it doesn't feel so much anymore. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna close out now. Thanks for joining, for real. If you're listening, thanks for listening. And if you have anything that you would like to share, anything you'd like to express, and you don't know how to do it or where to start, please hit me up. I'd be happy to help. Walk you through how to get a podcast going, how to get a video YouTube channel going, how to get a website going, if you got any ideas you need help with, hit me up. I'd be happy to help. Or if you just want to talk about what it's like to talk about what we're going through, also, I'm happy to be of service in any way possible. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and close out this episode. What's it all about? With a video that got created a couple of years ago that I mentioned earlier. In this video, I took a video from the band M83, their song "Wait," and I edited it and restructured it, and I took clips from an Alan Watts lecture. So I cut out parts of this like hour-long lecture. He talks about Zen. How just Zen, just mastery, I guess. And I just kind of chopped it up and put it in an order that felt true to me with where I was at the time. And it felt like it was, I don't know. I'll let you decide what it feels like. But yeah, this is that video, and it's the song is M83's song "Wait" off of their album "Hurry Up, We're Dreaming." And that's where the video is as well. Highly recommend that whole record, start to finish. You can't go wrong. Dive in. It'll take you where you're meant to go, where you want to go. It'll take you there. And the lecture is Alan Watts. I think it's just on Zen. And yeah, thanks again for joining. And let's roll out. This is the beginning of the end of the show. Thanks again. Enjoy.
Than you on the other. It's all the same.